Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors here at Trillium. A few weeks ago, I was reading the local newspaper and I saw a letter to the editor. It was from a retired teacher. The retired teacher was complaining about standardized testing that goes on in Ontario. I guess a lot of teachers don't like the standardized testing. His complaint was that the most important characteristic, the most important attribute for a student's success is something that happens long before the student ever gets to school. It seems to be born into the student, and it's perseverance. And yet, the teacher was saying this is the one attribute or consequence that we can't really teach, and we can't really even measure in standardized testing. That was his frustration. Got me thinking about perseverance. It really is such a critical component to life. And we seem to live in a culture today that doesn't really want to reinforce this notion of long-term commitment to long-term goals. Angela Duckworth defines grit as perseverance and passion for long-term goals. It involves working strenuously toward challenges, maintaining effort and interest over the years despite failures, adversities, and plateaus in progress. Our language takes perseverance very seriously. There's a number of synonyms that you can look up. Things like dedication, determination, endurance, grit. I love that word, grit. Moxie, purposefulness, resolution. You can go down the list, you can see a whole number of them. And each one of them has their own nuance to the notion of perseverance. As they say, most of the things that we accomplish in life, if we do manage to accomplish, is usually built through, in part, perseverance. You can't really learn anything of importance without learning the quality of perseverance. And yet, nonetheless, perseverance seems to me one of the most difficult things we could ever imagine teaching another person to do. Like, how do you teach someone to persevere? How do you even cultivate perseverance in someone's life? Like that word grit, which is a synonym. I saw an interesting article, 11 ways to teach grit. And you do things like read about grit, and talk about grit, and share examples of grit, and reframe problems so that they become gritty, live grittily, provide circumstances for people to experience grit. But it seems to me in those kinds of examples or lists, we're always talking around the subject. How do you actually teach perseverance? Don't know. I really don't know. I notice there's another characteristic that I think is equally important to perseverance that matters to us and our success in life. It's discernment. Judgment in its true meaning. Wisdom, we might call it. The ability to kind of take a look at a situation and maybe take another approach in life. To know when to give something up or when to take it on and really drive into it harder. Sometimes we need opportunities to learn how to do things in a different way. There's no point in persevering at something if you're doing it wrong. Practice makes perfect. Yes, in a sense, you'll perfectly do it wrong the more you practice it wrong. So we need something beyond perseverance, discernment. Yet I was thinking discernment is really tough to teach too. How do you teach wisdom to people? Or good judgment in a sense? Don't know. And it kind of brings out that mystery in life to me, that maybe the two most important qualities in life, far more than its skills or IQ or anything like that, perseverance and discernment are the things that are most mysteriously shared in life. And I think sometimes we have those moments in the mystery of a gift being given to us. It's a gift given to us, a serendipitous moment where we get to see things in a new way. And we get to figure out something in a new way. We can see something from a new perspective or get an insight on how to do something in a different way. It feels like a gift that's been given to us, this moment. In the church, we call it grace. And we believe it's divinely inspired by that higher intelligence that we call God. And the promise of the scriptures that God is constantly pouring over that brilliance into our lives. And our only challenge is to learn how to put our hands out and receive the gift in a more open and powerful way. Perseverance, you can't get anywhere without it. And you can't really get anywhere without discernment either. But the gift of God that comes to us, that graceful moment of serendipity, when we get to see anew, is probably even the most important element of life and the hardest to teach.